Hey, what's going on? Today I want to talk about a hack that you can do to increase a very important anti-aging hormone. Now, I recently made a video where I talked about melatonin, and I talked about the benefits of melatonin beyond helping you get into a deep, restorative, regenerative sleep. So those other benefits are it's very good for your eyes. It helps to regenerate the rods, cones, and photoreceptors. It's neuroprotective. It's a very potent antioxidant for your brain. It's also anti-cancer and anti-tumor. So I talked about how people that do shift work, they have much higher cancer rates because they have lower levels of melatonin. And then melatonin also plays a very vital role in your body's energy production. So it helps keep your mitochondria healthy. It helps them to recycle and repair. So now let's dig a little bit deeper into melatonin. And you might be wondering why I look kind of red. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. But one of the hacks I do a lot with red light therapy. But I want to talk about the different kinds of melatonin. So there's two different kinds of melatonin. There is circulatory melatonin, which your pineal gland releases in the absence of light. So that's why you want to get rid of, reduce screen time at night, get rid of LEDs, fluorescent lights, because they're mostly blue light. If you can't get rid of them, you want to be wearing blue blocking glasses at night and covering up your skin. That's going to protect your melatonin so you get into a deeper sleep. And that is circulatory melatonin. Now there's another kind of melatonin which is called local melatonin. So it turns out that both red and near infrared light make local melatonin. And your mitochondria actually make this melatonin. And again, it's a very potent antioxidant for your cells. So something else that I've talked about in the past are the number one cancers for men and women, which is breast cancer and prostate cancer respectively. Both of those cancers are associated with low levels of melatonin, and guess what? Most women never get red light or sunlight exposure on their breast. Most men never get sunlight exposure on their prostate. Now there's an easy way around that. Two things actually. If you want to do it outside, they sell swimwear called Kiniki, K-I-N-I-K-I, but it's tan-through swimwear. So you can be covered up and still get sun exposure, so you can make that local melatonin. Now another way is using red light therapy. So I've got my near infrared light behind me that's often shining on me when I'm at my desk doing work. And I have another light. It's a 670 nanometer light panel that I have over here, which helps offset some of the blue light in my environment, but it's also adding in red so my body can make more melatonin. Now China did a very interesting research study on a bunch of female athletes where they had two groups. They had a control group and they had a test group, and in the test group they exposed their full bodies to 670 nanometer light. They covered their eyes. They did this for 30 minutes for every night for 2 weeks, and this resulted in an increase of their melatonin, of their circulatory melatonin levels by 70%. So the women in the test group that got the red light exposure, they had an improvement in sleep and in athletic performance. So one of the ways that you can put off aging, reduce your risk for cancer, have better energy production is by getting more red light exposure. The best way is from the sun. 42% of sunlight is red and infrared light. Or you can, during the winter time, if you can't get out for the sun as much, you can use red light panels. And if that's something you want to get, I'll leave a link below for the brand that I recommend along with the code, so you can save. It's 25 or 50 bucks or something like that. But this is really important. Now something else that I've talked about in other videos is getting rid of your LEDs and your fluorescent lights and going back to incandescent bulbs. And the reason for that is more than 50% of the light from incandescent bulbs is infrared light. So you can have an indoor source of infrared light. It even passes through light clothing. So by changing your light bulbs, you can help your body make more melatonin, which is anti-aging, anti-cancer, neuroprotective. It's going to help your mitochondria stay healthy. So many more benefits. So, one more thing. So something else that red light does, it also creates a natural SPF of 15. So if you ever go on a tropical vacation in the wintertime, or if you haven't had any sun exposure and you're super white and pale, a hack that you can do to get more safe sun exposure is to watch the sunrise, because when you watch that sunrise in the morning, you're getting that 42% red and infrared light. There's no UV light, but that red light preconditions your skin for UV light, which comes later in the day. So that way you can reduce your risk of getting a sunburn. You don't have to use nasty suntan lotions that have all different chemicals and things like that. And you can make more vitamin D, which is also which is the very important hormone for your immune system that also protects you from sickness and disease. So light is super important to your health. It's a nutrient. It's not a nutrient you eat, but it's a nutrient that you absorb and your body uses to do all different things. This is just one example of how your body uses different light nutrients to make melatonin, protecting you from so many things. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, ask below, and I will see you soon.